The path of learning, knowing yet pretending not to know. True learning is not merely the accumulation of knowledge. Genuine study is the process of humbling oneself and becoming like a fool. Those who cling to their cleverness cannot truly learn, for they already believe they have the answers. They judge, classify, and dismiss what they encounter. In contrast, those who admit their ignorance open the door to growth and treat every situation as a lesson. 1. The limits of cleverness and the birth of desire. A clever person may handle simple matters with ease because they can quickly grasp what is happening. Yet, as life presents them with more complex and higher-level challenges, their logic alone fails. This inability to resolve difficulties often turns into anger and desire. To become angry is to reveal a lack of true ability. If one were genuinely wise, one could untangle and resolve matters without frustration. Thus, anger is evidence of immaturity, and desire is the mark of one who has failed to cultivate character. 2. The attitude of knowing yet not knowing. A true student does not hastily judge others' actions as right or wrong. When witnessing another's mistakes, one does not interfere or condemn, but simply observes. This is the meaning of knowing yet pretending not to know. To be ignorant because one does not know is mere foolishness. To remain silent though one understands is the beginning of wisdom. By adopting this attitude, we allow more to enter into us, which later transforms into strength and insight. 3. Becoming a fool. The essence of learning is to become a fool. This does not mean being mindless or naive, but rather choosing humility and restraint. One does not interfere in others' shortcomings. One smiles even when disregarded. And one refrains from showing off intelligence and is willing to appear simple-minded. Through such behavior, more wisdom flows in, and others gradually come to trust us. In time, it becomes clear that the fool's way is the truly wise way. 4. Growth through humility. One studies precisely because one is weak. In weakness, the task is to bow the head, guard the tongue, and endure. If we insist on appearing clever, we create distance, block learning, and miss growth. But when we accept the role of the fool, we gain everything. Thus, learning is the recognition of one's own inadequacy, and growth comes from embracing that inadequacy. To know yet act as if ignorant, to humble oneself and become a fool, and to embrace others with tolerance. This is the true path to wisdom and transformation. Key teachings, simplified. 1. Cleverness can block learning. People who think they are smart cannot truly learn, and they believe they already know the answers and quickly judge others. True wisdom means resolving situations calmly, without anger. Anger is a sign of immaturity and lack of real ability. 2. The attitude of knowing yet pretending not to know. A true learner does not rush to say whether others are right or wrong. And when someone makes a mistake, simply observe, do not interfere. Not knowing because of ignorance is foolishness. Knowing but choosing silence is wisdom. 3. Why you must become a fool. Being a fool here does not mean being stupid, but being humble. Acting too clever pushes people away, but humility draws people closer. Yeah, and even if you seem to lose or get ignored, you actually gain more growth. 4. Growth through humility. We study precisely because we are weak. But when weak, we must bow our heads, stay quiet, and practice patience. By admitting our limitations and lowering ourselves, we open the door to true growth. In short, Master CHEON Gong's message is, let go of cleverness and become like a fool. When you know, act as if you don't. Through humility and patience, true learning and real growth begin. This is the story based on the above articles. Along the Brisbane River stood a small sushi shop. Every dawn, Jae-ho washed rice as if he were rinsing out anger. Anger at customers, staff, and the rising costs of ingredients. Yet no matter how often he washed, the water in his mind stayed cloudy. One lunchtime, a man stormed in. "This salmon's thinner than yesterday. Are you kidding me?" The floor manager, Eugene, glanced nervously at Jae-ho. His jaw tightened. Normally, he would have argued back. But a sentence he had read that morning resurfaced. Know, yet act as if you don't. Become a fool. Anger only reveals a lack of ability. So instead of snapping, Jae-ho lowered his head. My cut was shallow. Allow me to prepare it again. The man blinked, surprised, and sat down. Jae-ho wiped his cutting board, studied the salmon's grain, and sliced slowly, letting each stroke strip away a layer of his pride. When he set the new plate down, the man ate silently, then gave a faint nod. That evening, he left a review. The chef apologized and served me himself. The flavor followed after the humility. 5 stars. Still, change was not easy. 2 days later, Min-soo, the youngest apprentice, ruined the vinegar mix. The rice was far too wet. Orders piled up. Jae-ho's old temper smoldered. Why the same mistake again? The words rose to his tongue, but he swallowed them. 100 days of knowing yet not knowing. That's my vow. Instead, he showed Min-soo how to spread the rice to let it breathe. Save the grain's breath first, then the flavor will follow. Min-soo apologized over and over, then whispered, I stayed up finishing a school project last night. His hands were calloused and trembling from exhaustion. Jae-ho simply nodded. I'll handle today. You breathe first. Another day, a woman came in with her arm in a cast. She hesitated with the menu. Could you cut it small so I can eat with a spoon instead of chopsticks? The old Jae-ho might have groaned at the extra work during a rush. Instead, he said, Of course. He cut the fish finely, pressed the rice firmly, and served her gently. As she ate, she murmured, I used to come here with my husband. Now I'm alone. It comforts me that this place hasn't changed. He heard her words but asked nothing. To know and yet remain silent. She finished her meal in quiet, and at the counter she slipped him a note. Sometimes we are healed not by words but by hands. Today, yours did that. Thank you. At night, after closing, Jae-ho walked the riverside. City lights scattered across the water. He realized his cleverness had been a shield. His lack of skill showed itself in anger. He once used his sharp words like a knife, but that knife had cut himself more than others. Now he understood. The knife must stay sharp, but the heart must stay round. One rainy Saturday, the shop was packed. Then came the complaint king, a notorious regular. Special set. Wasabi separate. Rice soft. Portions precise. All eyes turned to Jae-ho. He exhaled slowly. Very well. I'll prepare it myself. Silence seemed to fall as he focused. The warmth of rice, the line of the fish, the balance of vinegar and air. When the plate reached the table, the man took a bite. His face softened. I've got no complaints this time. He left a little heart on the bill. A joke perhaps, but one that lingered. As autumn painted the street trees gold, Jae-ho's words grew fewer. His hands spoke, his eyes listened, his silence answered. Customers kept returning without knowing why. Some said it was the texture of the fish. Others said, this place just feels peaceful. Min-soo learned to read the rice's breath. Eugene learned to sense complaints before they arose. The shop's rhythm flowed like calm water. One winter noon, the man who once mocked the salmon returned. After eating quietly, he confessed, that day I just failed badly at work. I took it out here. But when you apologized and served me again, I felt ashamed. May I ask, why didn't you get angry? Jae-ho smiled. Hold a knife long enough and you learn. The sharper it is, the more carefully you must handle it. Words are the same. The man bowed slightly. Since then, I've tried keeping quiet at the office. Strangely, things are going better. That night, Jae-ho lowered the shop's shutter and wrote in his phone journal, Day 101 of being a fool. Silence is the warmest form of service. He recalled his teacher's words. True wisdom begins when you know, yet choose not to speak. As the shutter clanged shut, the sound blended with the river's tide. It was a sound he had heard for years, but only now truly understood. He felt certain tomorrow's salmon would be cut one layer thicker, and his heart one layer thinner.